Alright, so this is part 1 of episode 2 of the river series. This is our journey trying to catch a 20+ inch smallmouth. And in this one, we're going to start it off early. I get up early, call gauge, no response. So I just kind of left. Like I tried to get him, but he was asleep. And so I get out there early, just me, and took the 9mm Hags prickly pear. Which those are the easiest ones to get a hold of, the prickly pears are, because a lot of everything else is sold out or gone, or it's just not anywhere close. So wanted to try something different, started the day off with that. And if you guys are going to use the free rig method on some lighter line, do not put a bobber stopper in front of your knot in your free rig. That way it doesn't bump into it, because then when you're casting, it's just going to, you're going to cast it one time, it's just going to fly off, because your knot is going to get loosened up, and the free rig weight is just going to do that over time to it. And that, honestly, I would do that if you're going to throw it on a bigger free rig too, like big casters. But yeah, and then this is just the morning portion of the episode, because I did a whole day trip on this, just fishing the river basically the entire day. But yeah, hope you guys enjoy. Make sure to hit that subscribe button if you guys enjoy. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.
We got a free rig koi on right now, little mini free rig koi. So I don't know how small this free rig weight is, but it's pretty small, as you guys can tell. And then it's like a clear speckled, green and red speckled Hags prickly pear, and it's one of the mini ones. I caught a decent one on the old green pumpkin version of this one. I'm just trying to see if the free rig will work, because with this current and everything, if you run it weightless, it just can't hit that, really. You don't get much action, I think, because of how light it is. And then if you're on a nail weight in it, it's kind of hard to nail weight with how small, because these are like the finesse. These are 9mm ones. I don't know for sure, I can look at them, but they're just so finesse. We got bit. Let's see you get out. We're gonna come out here, and then it just started raining. Trying to just wait it out for a minute, see what would happen. And she stopped, but it was a nice overcast, but it's just starting to get sunnier and sunnier. We'll see what happens. Hopefully we can get in some, but yeah, we'll see what happens. I don't know about this free rig, but just want to try some other way of rigging it. And we pretty much made it up here, but yeah, this is what I mean though, is by current flow and stuff like this, is there's a bunch of that current flow and it comes off by those rocks over there, and that stuff's a little bit deeper. Like, I mean, it's not the deepest stuff in the world, like, it's not that deep. And then there's like a big old bowl basically in the middle, and that's what you want to kind of look for. And then you just throw it up in that current most of the time. You just gotta watch out for these rocks. We just got hammered. I'm just gonna have to slow way down, but got hit. That's the thing too, is there's a lot of rock bass. Oh, there's smallmouth on it. I just saw him. He's small. Like 5 inches or something. Best thing about these koi though is they don't really get hung. I love that. Except for they do hit the trees apparently, or get the leaves. I love it. But yeah, we did just have a bite. He followed it off that current. So what I did was I casted like kind of on the edge of that current, basically on the seam of it, and then jigged it out, made it have some action coming out of there, and then did that all the way back here. And he did hit it a couple times, but when they peck it, they're normally pretty small. Like they're either a rock bass or smallmouth. And then normally if you're fishing and you get like a big old, like a giant thump, or your bait just starts moving, it's a big one. Especially in the river. But you'll kind of feel a peck, and then all of a sudden your line, you'll just see your tight line just, and you're like, is that the current or is that a fish? And normally it's a fish. Or you might be snagged in a rock. That's the thing, there's so many rocks up through here. But yeah, nice little bowl action is what you want. Rocky, and just cast up through that current and give your bait some action through it. And most of the time, you get bit somewhere, either down there, up here. Like you just, more spots you hit, more fish you're gonna have looking at your bait. More fish you're gonna have want to bite it. Which I should be, honestly, I could probably throw a bait caster with this rig. I don't throw bait casters in the river, like almost ever. You see me out here with the one rod and reel, fairy wand, all day long, hearing that drag scream. So I do like these free rigs, or these free rig weights. I don't know what brand they are. I found them on Tackle Warehouse, and they're quality. There's some quality weights. Oh, shoot. So this stuff up here, not very good, guys. So I'll catch you guys in the next spot once we get there and everything. All right, guys, so we made it up here to another, which our spot was just past that left side right there. There's the right and the left, and yeah, we're over up in there. We're up here. Thought I heard someone just say something. I guess not. But yeah, we're on some slate rocks, and just past these trees right here, this big old slate bowl, basically, as we call it, of just big old slate rocks, giant slate rocks, and we're snagged. So that's probably going to be how this is going to go. Every 5 casts, every 2 casts, we're going to get snagged. As you guys can see, though, I don't know if you guys can see it or not, actually, but there's a big old drop off into this slate bowl, and it is, when it's deeper, it was a little murkier. Literally couldn't see the bottom at all. But with how shallow it is, or not shallow, with how down the water is, look at that quake. But yeah, buddy, there's a bowl right there, and then you just cast her out there and just hope that we don't get snagged in some more rocks. But this whole spot is just, look at that, guys. That's a freaking smallie right there on the quake, on the old quake, boys. That's crazy, and that's not even a bad one either. He's fat. Holy, look at that, boy. Look at that. Quake is choked. You guys can see that. Boom. Quake in the throat. All right, that was a little pickle there because it hit the water, goes down, and he just destroys it. I had no time to really do anything. Those hooks were in there. I also think I have poison ivy on my finger. Cause you see those bushes and stuff? I keep trucking over there. Oh, we're on a rock. Yeah, all I did with that was, I just did the same thing on that cast that I just made that you guys watched. Was just cast it out there. I let it hit the water, and that free rig as it sinks, like the, whatever you want to call them, appendages, the arms, kind of just flutter with the water and the current as it sinks with the weight, which is nice. But yeah, you just cast it over there under that tree and you just jig it through the current. That was crazy though. Hit the water, he destroyed it. But yeah, that treble hook was in there. Kind of crazy how. And I forgot pliers again. I only have nail clippers in my bag right now. But yeah, this thing does have good action though. I don't think we've ever caught one like on this bank. We've caught some out off of this shelf right here because it's literally just a slate shelf that goes down. And then I've caught some good ones right up there on that current, and then up there off of that current, which you may say, that current? Yeah, it's kind of faster, but over there on that left side, when it was up a little bit more than this, because it's like dead summer right now, so the river's just gonna be, this is the river, like it's gonna be down, because we don't get rain too much right now, or we haven't, and just with the koi too, going through the current. But yeah, that thing destroyed it though. Thought it was really small. It was decent. It was really foul one though, and eating good. And that's why you gotta stick with these new baits. Try them. Catch fish on them eventually. Throw the duck up there. I'm just kidding, I don't have a duck. Throw a spider. Probably would, honestly, spider could get hit. Yeah, these conditions though, they're elite to that. Which I think we might get rained on soon. But it's okay. We can deal with some rain. We won't melt. But the overcast, white skies, prime conditions. But you see that rock bank right there, how it goes from this tree up in there. Up in there, it's a big old tree, but you got to think about the bottom. The bottom is one of the biggest things when you're fishing for smallmouth and river fish. And it transitions from, I'm pretty sure that stuff's like a mucky or sandy or bottom, and which there's a slate stuff that goes all the way, I don't know if it goes all the way across or not, but it goes decent bit across, and then it gets over to that bank and then rock after that tree, and that's where you really want to be hitting them, because the smallmouth, they just how do I want to word that, they kind of just associate themselves with rock more than they do with timber, is what they tend to do. Last couple weeks is what we found. I mean, sometimes there's probably a fish over there. Those fish just way more finicky. It's probably my line right there in that tree. I don't think it is. It might be. I was here a couple weeks, or I think it was literally last week, and here's the rain. So, but yeah, that's okay. I was here last week. Those trees, these rocks probably fluttered with my jig heads and hooks and stuff. Because I retied a lot and a lot of leaders. Lost a lot of line, lost a lot of jig heads and hooks. Which, this sport is expensive. Freaking. I just went to the store Friday to get stuff for yesterday and today in the river. Oh, it's expensive. But it's okay. It's okay. Need to get more leader lines soon. I got one spool right now. I need more braid too. But you see, there's a lot of new brush piles from this Oh, that's not good. From the storms we've had the last couple of weeks. Yeah, this thing's throwing me for a loop. It's so heavy. Like, you may be like, that's so heavy. Yeah, it's really heavy, actually. For a spinning rod, you could definitely throw this on a bait caster and get away with it, especially with these treble hooks. But these slate rocks, one thing you gotta be careful about is there's a lot of holes in here. A lot of holes. But, oh, a rocker fish. Rock. I'm gonna bounce it way off the bottom, see what we can get. Yep, this is the rig though. Yeah, there's like, we're gonna work this. Try and work it as slow as we can through this current. Try and keep it close to that bottom. See if we can't just get absolutely hammered out of nowhere or something. There's definitely a rock right there. Big one. I keep popping it over it. Last two casts. Alright, let's go through. Yeah, with these rocky banks like this, with current, if you see a rocky bank like that with current that's a little bit deeper, because like this stuff over here is too shallow. My freaking finger. I don't know if that's poison ivy or what it is. That's what my thumb's looking like from these dang bass. But I think it's poison ivy or something in these weeds. Keep walking through and stuff. Freaking itches. Not good. Scratched me up. I think we're gonna rock. There's a good thing about the free rig is we're gonna kind of be really close to the bottom, but bad thing is that we're gonna be close to the bottom because this place is a lot of rocks, a lot of bigger rocks too. Just gonna come off that bank right there. Need to get back up in that hole right there. See if we can't get one out of there. Because what they'll do a lot of times is like, there's that hole right there with all them rocks, all right? And it's deeper. And if you think about it like this, current flowing, it's gonna bring in the bait fish, gonna bring in food. Then that provides shelter from all the weather and everything like that. Structure for them to hide under. And ambush spot basically is what it is. So it's just gonna flow in there right to them. And it works. Works great. It's where they sit a lot of the time. You just gotta make one come out and eat it. Almost. Or you gotta cast on their freaking head. So I think that might have happened with that fish earlier. And we're in a freaking tree. Come on, get out of there. Get off the edge. Oh no. There he goes. No free rig though. She gets out of there. She's kind of weedless. And she doesn't get hung on rocks too much, honestly. She's not bad at all. Like, I didn't know she was gonna get hung or what, but it's kind of like you get stuck in there and then you give it a nice pop and it just comes out almost every time, which is really nice. Like right there, we're snagging a rock, just popped it off. Gotta give it kind of a hard pop. That's the one thing about the river. So you're gonna lose one, a lot of jig heads, hooks, and weights. Like if you use certain stuff, like you're gonna lose lures and baits with being here. And then you're gonna lose leader line. You're gonna lose main line. You're gonna lose line in general, pretty much. So, because you're not gonna want to go swimming over there to try and get your lure back every time, or else you're gonna end up soaking wet every time. And nobody wants to end up soaking wet every time at the end of the day, especially when it is not that warm out today, which is kind of perfect. Kind of perfect. But I think there's one off that branch right there. Very well could be right there. Come on. Sitting out in the middle, maybe? Nothing. We're under that tree good there. This is a good stretch right here, though. Should be able to get one. I don't know how we only got. We've got one fish on the day here. We're doing great. Oh no! I know where I'm at. Oh, I think I got it off. There's like a tree or something. I forgot about it. I got snagged on like 3 times last time I was out here. It's either right out there, there's like some branch or something, or it's right over in there. And I got snagged on it a couple times last time I was out here, and it freaking took like 3 of my baits, to say the least. Freaking sucks. Like, I mean, I got close to the structure, but we also lost probably close to $5 in lures. But like, there's a lot of, like, I don't know if you guys can see it, these branches in the water. A lot of those right now. A lot of those after that storm. Which I mean is great to a certain extent. Like, it's good. It's also bad because I'm gonna get snagged on it 50 times. And you're either pulling up a whole branch or you're losing a lure. And with these smaller baits, which these are actually, these treble hooks are not that small, but like some hooks I'll be using, they're just so small that they just branches, rocks, they'll bend the hooks out. And then you can either bend the hook back, which is not very fun. It's freaking kind of sucks. It really does suck. But you can do that, save money, or you can just get a new hook. I usually try and bend it out the best I can, or bend it back. And if it doesn't work very well, then I'll have to get a new hook. But I try my best because hooks are not cheap. Nothing's really cheap. But that's the, there's definitely a deer up there. I don't know if you guys can hear it or not. I was trying to get up there by that rock bank back in there and just drag the fur rig completely through this. Yeah, there's like some branch or something up through here. I don't know where it's at. Probably gonna get hung on it or something. Something dumb. But yeah. Oh gosh. Oh, we're off of it. Oh, we're in the perfect stuff. We're in the sauce right now. We're not getting touched. And we're on the branch. Tubies are ready, bro. These ones. These will be good. Oh my god, freaking. A little bit more dirty or stainedier water than oil fishing in now. Alright, new leader's been acquired, not very long at all. We'll get up here and catch a giant. Watch this. Alright guys, we got a giant on here. I told you guys if we came back up to this front spot, we would hook into a good one, or we usually do. And let's just say we've got a stud on here right now. Freaking broke off the leader earlier. That's a freaking giant. Or that's not as big as I thought it was, but that's a pretty good one right there.
on this. If you guys know what the old tube does, look at that. That's a meat. Yeah, it's freaking crazy. Right off that tree over there. I told you guys, usually fish get set up in here. Wanted to come somewhere we'd catch some fish. He's bruised up pretty good. And his gill too. Got him pretty good on that. We'll give him some water. I thought he was bigger than that, but I wasn't recording because trying to just get out of here, but I just want to make a couple casts before we left to see if we could get one right here, which